hold on. Let me frame it like this. It might be a bit better. You've had a boyfriend, right?
I've had friends that were boys.
You've been involved with men romantically. Has a man ever said something rude to you?
Of course.
So we would agree that it's freedom of speech to say rude things.
Yeah.
But would you agree that it's wrong or bad or you shouldn't say rude things to people?
Well, he may not have thought it was wrong. That's just the freedom of speech that he had.
Okay, what if
I'm just standing for what Carly Church
if a guy called you...
He wanted to say and debate whatever he wanted. People can say and debate whatever he wanted. I don't think he would disagree that somebody could say whatever they wanted, whether it was good or bad. Because are we talking about logic or are we talking about emotions?
If you were in a relationship with a guy, is there anything that the guy could say to you that would upset you?
Of course.
Like he called you a name or he was verbally abusive?
Yeah.
And that would be wrong, right?
Of course.
Okay, so you're able to make determinations there. Mm-hmm. So, but you would not accept, for example, the justification. Well, I have freedom of speech, ergo.
I just haven't gathered.
I have freedom of speech, ergo, I should be able to be verbally abusive to my partner. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, no, it's wrong to be verbally abusive, even though you have the freedom to be verbally abusive.
I just haven't gathered that much of an opinion about it. People are using their freedom of speech, which Charlie Kirk so-called stood for. So if they standing on that, I don't think he would have
just
a problem
because
with
you
that.
can do something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, you don't need the the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to tell you whether or not.
And then that's just hypocritical because it's only okay when you're not offended.
What?
Wait.
Exactly. Why are we smearing the conversation? Well, I said what I said. Let's just move on.
I don't know. I've explained it 3 different ways. Okay. Your thoughts?
I think it's terrible. It's actually beyond my comprehension that it can't universally be agreed upon that murdering someone in front of their children and wife and thousands of other people is wrong and not something that should be celebrated. The other thing is, look, I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on every position that he took. I think he had the right to say it, and at least he encouraged that dialogue, and a lot of people are not doing that. So I think he really paved the way in a lot of different ways. And sure, everybody has their freedom of speech. They can say what they want. They can feel however they want. I just think that it's a matter of decorum. I think it's distasteful to put online or amongst your friends or your coworkers that you're happy somebody died. I think that is just distasteful. There's certain things that you wouldn't say in a public forum, like a racial slur or something of that sort. And you have to understand, if you say those sorts of things that are inflammatory and distasteful, there could be potential consequences of that. So I don't agree. I don't hate people if they're glad that he died, but I think it's distasteful and gross.
Maybe I want to take one final crack at explaining this. Okay, for example, somebody to you, madam, what's her government name?
You got my name right. There you go, Madam Houston.
I'm going to call you H or something. I don't know.
Give me a nickname. I don't mind.
Careful on that, Nick. Okay, so I believe somebody has the freedom of speech to walk up to a racial minority and say a racial slur. I think that nobody should do that and that that's wrong, but they technically have the freedom of speech to do it. And there may very well be consequences for that kind of speech, either directly from the person they're saying it to, although that not justifying that either, but there would be, like if I walk up to like a really buff guy and I'm like, what's up, bitch? Like I'm probably gonna get smacked in the face. Like technically it doesn't give him like legal justification to assault me, but like if I walk up to somebody and like a dude and I'm like, what's up, pussy? I'm getting a fucking smack in the face. In that same vein though, I don't think, and I would say it's wrong to walk up to somebody and call them a racial slur. Do you agree with that?
Everybody has their wrong and everybody got their right.
All right. That's thank you.
If you didn't like Charlie Kirk, it's okay to say that.
Thank you for engaging.
I appreciated somebody who advocates for freedom of speech.
All right. Moving on. What about you? What do you think? Quick thoughts, if you can, please. Just.
Yes. I can hear Erica crying in my heart. I can just hear her crying from wherever she is. And the reason why I bring that up is because in the book of Genesis in the Bible, when Cain killed Abel, it says that Abel's blood was crying up from the ground to the Lord. And I believe that Charlie Kirk will have his day in God's court. And many people who have disparaged him, I have no doubt that they will bow down to him and they will know that God has loved him. And you can read that in Revelation.
All right.